What do you think?
It looks a lot different, that's for sure.
It does look different. Not what we planned.
Definitely not what we're planning. Well, it's actually like a little devastating because this was such a good, I mean, it wasn't a field, it was more or less a forest, but it was so good for the sheep and the pig. Like, this was their area, and now that the bugs have literally come in and like took out all the trees, it really is devastating because we're having to pay people to come in to literally just demolish the place so that we can clean it up and make it back what it's supposed to be.
So investment that cost us money.
For really nothing.
For nothing, and we a complete and utter loss.
Yep. Because there's nothing that you can do with that. I mean, it's gonna have to be burned, and there's no saving it. There's nothing you can do with it. It is the utter loss. So for years from now, of course, it will be good because we'll have pasture, but that was not the intention. That was not the intention. So we are really bummed about that. Not the way we wanted to start the day is having someone come and like tear up our fields, but we just gonna have to roll with the punches on this one. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. So you've already seen that we have kicked off to a very busy day already, and in this edition we have kicked off kombucha. I have put up between 60 and 75, a lost count in the making of all of the eggshell cracking. Those are going in the freezer, which will go in the freeze dryer as soon as it is freed up. All of my eggs, because I don't want anything to go to waste, is going in my kitchen counter composter, which you guys heard me talk about and seen me use my kitchen composter, which I love. I told you guys about it, and of course I don't recommend anything that I don't personally love and use myself, including this kitchen composter. And if any of you guys want to know the link to where I got this from, just let me know. I have been using it for almost a year now, and it has proved to be very beneficial, and it is just that easy. It will begin to be breaking down all of the things that I have put in there into little bitty pieces, which I can take right out to my raised beds or anything else that I'm going to be planting in for nutrients to feed my soil, which ultimately feeds my plants and ultimately feeds me. And I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of more things that I have going on. One is very exciting, so let's take a look right now. Yes, that is baby chicks. I am up to 10. I didn't want to hatch out a whole lot, just enough to start replacing some of my Easter eggers and olive egger hens that are down in my lay-in hen coop. And you can see these guys. They will lay green and blue eggs. And I also have red broilers coming. Y'all have heard us talk a lot about meat birds and some of the things that we have dealt with in the past. So I'll quickly go over. We've done the Cornish cross for years and years and years. This last year with the last batch, it was not the first time. We had them in the same mobile chicken coop that you see right here beside me. After a rain, half of them were dead. That was not the first time. It had happened 2 other times before. So we felt like that and have also come from different hatcheries. So we felt like that line of chickens has just become very weak. So we do not want to do the Cornish cross anymore, even though they put off a very nice bird. They're so fragile. If any little thing happens, they die. So it's almost like, what is the point in doing that when I'm chancing losing so many of my birds in the couple of months that it takes to raise them up? So you guys saw us do the American breast, which we raised out. They are on the opposite side of a Cornish cross. So they're very hardy. They take a very long time to grow out, and they're a smaller bird. So even at a year old, some of the ones that we butchered off was a lot of feather, very small chicken underneath. That is a lot of time to grow out an animal to get decent sized meat off of, which again in our mind is still not sustainable. So the white Jersey Giants do grow off a little bit bigger than the breasts, but still not enough to justify raising them up for so long. So there's our two views from personal experience on the birds that we have dealt with over the years. We have also done what's called Red Rangers or Freedom Rangers. Now here's the catch with them. When I bought them years ago, I raised them up. My whole purpose was to keep 1 or 2 roosters with a set of hens because I wanted the self-sufficiency. I wanted my hens to begin laying. I would be able to get the eggs, hatch them out myself, raise up another set of meat birds. So that was my ultimate goal. Now, the hens at a year old had never laid. The roosters become so aggressive, they were killing my hens. So then I completely took all the hens out. Then the roosters started killing each other, and they have Freedom Ranger for a reason, that name for a reason. They got everything we put them in. They were such flighty birds. They wanted to fly over everything, which obviously when I have raised beds and gardens planted, that is a huge problem because they will get in and scratch up and eat and peck at everything. So what we ended up doing with that batch was literally just killing them all off because they were not worth it. The roosters were too aggressive. My hens weren't even laying. They were a year old. That was a problem for us. So I in my back of my mind, pondering all these things, thinking maybe we just got a line that was aggressive. Maybe that line was just from a more aggressive line. I don't know. I have not had anybody else tell me yes on the flightiness, but no on the aggressiveness. Talking with other people. So we're going to try them again. We got a batch of what's called red broilers. Fingers crossed, my plan is to raise them up, the hens to lay, keep a rooster or 2 for breeding. We're going to kill off the other roosters in a couple of months and see how we like them. So that is my plan for right now. Those chicks are supposed to be here in a couple of days, which will be the same size as my laying hens. So I'm going to raise them up all together until I can separate those hens out, and then we'll separate the other roosters to the freezer. Nothing has been, quote, an easy button. We have done this for year in and year out, and we have not found a great solution for us in South Mississippi when it comes to raising meat birds, because there are so many pros to cons to all of the different birds. We're just trying to find that niche that fits us best. Alongside one of the mini chores, sometimes the things we don't talk about a lot. Well, I have talked to you a lot about laundry before, but this specifically is dairy rags. It is part of the laundry where we have to wash and dry a lot of the towels and the rags that go out into the dairy extension, where when Colby milks in the morning, he has access to clean rags where he can wash our cows' teats and udders really good before he puts the milker on. So sometimes those chores that you may not even think about or you may not even see are things that regardless have to be done here on the homestead. And today I do not have to be working as much outside. Aiden and I have actually spent the past 2 days outside. The first day I was much more involved. All of my fruit trees, we dug a barrier around those, not down but out, taking the grass out so that the grass does not overcrowd my trees. We also layered it with a scoop of compost from our old barn in the back that has been sitting for some time now. Then I put cardboard feeding sacks over that, and then we topped that with mulch. And Aiden kind of got a little tickled because he said, you only have about 5 or 6 of these, right? And then I busted out laughing because I have fruit trees here and there and all over the yard. So it was a little more than a half of a day process. We also had, from the major drought that you guys heard us talk a lot about that we dealt with last year, we had dead cedars and also some just landscaping shrubs and bushes that just did not make it through the drought. So we had to dig a lot of those things up and get those things taken off of the property, which ended up turning into a couple of days process. This morning I was able to go out and finish planting the sweet potato slips that I had rooted. Now what's really interesting about my sweet potatoes this year is I've had them for many years, and usually I have more slips that are growing off my potatoes than I even know what to do with. But that was not the case this year. I really only have enough for my family. Usually I try to share some with our local community that I know would benefit from growing sweet potatoes, but that is not the case this year. I also took my 2-year potatoes that I had put up in storage. They kind of shrivel up and get kind of like soft and squishy. I went ahead and planted all of those as well, because it will surprise you once moisture hits those. Some of those will actually put off slips and start growing vines. Also, my ones from last year that maybe had little defects on them or whatever, I just took those whole potatoes out and planted those in a couple of extra spaces that I had over by the high tunnel as well. There is always much to get accomplished when you run a farm like we do. But I wanted to tell y'all one more thing that I got in the mail that I think that you guys are going to really like. So I have recently began talking with a local friend of mine who is, I have kind of dabbled in this a little bit in the past, but she has really felt a calling to do this as well, but offer some classes to our community. I know one of the upcoming ones is going to be beekeeping. She is also going to be hosting a sourdough class, a canning class. I will help her do a foraging class with some of the books that I have on hand. Bringing our community in and building our community up. She and I have discussed a couple of things. One of those being, are people to the point in life where they think maybe growing their food is just not a necessity because they can go to the grocery store and easily access those things? So it's not a necessity. They just don't want to do it because they weren't taught to do it. They don't have those skills, which kind of leads into her point. She was saying maybe they don't want to do anything for themselves because maybe they think they can't. So just a lot of discussion there, which kind of led me to where I am right now. And this is one of the things I want to talk to y'all about, something that is so simple. So one of the things with Survival Garden Seeds is they have already bundled a package that's an apartment kit. Now, I think this is so cool for a number of reasons. One of the coolest things about Survival Garden Seeds, not to mention that they have seed saving instructions on the back, but you have to get the packets, learn how to grow before you can get to the seed saving instructions. But the apartment kit includes these seeds, and I'm going to go over them really quickly with y'all. But I got these just for y'all, just because I wanted to show you. Y'all, they already have it packaged for you. If you live in an apartment, or you live in a small house, or you live in a rental property and you can't till the ground, or you can't grow a no-till area for whatever your reasons be, y'all, basil, arugula, carrots, Chinese celery, petunia, kale, cucumbers, cilantro, lemon balm, lettuce, catnip, parsley, peas, peppers, 2 different kinds of peppers, radishes, spinaches, bunching onions, thyme, and more lettuce. All of these, so some of these can be planted together in a container. So you could take lemon balm, kind of will take over itself. So I would do lemon balm by itself. But you could do carrots and underground and do a side of arugula. Basil goes good with tomatoes are not in here, but you could put tomatoes in a pot and put some basil around it. Y'all heard me talk a lot about companion planting and say that you don't know. Okay, Misty, I'm gonna get the kit. I'm gonna get my containers. I'm gonna get all my prep and stuff, but okay, you said lemon balm really needs to be by itself. Catnip probably needs to be by itself too. But I don't know what else could go together. Let me tell y'all a wonderful app that I have right on my phone. It is called Seed to Spoon. So here's the app. I'm gonna see what the best options are to plant with peppers. So I'm gonna go up here and pick plant list. Then I'm going to scroll down to peppers. Here is peppers, banana peppers, bell peppers, hot peppers. This is macaroni red. So I'm gonna go with hot peppers. Under your hot peppers, there is an option right here for companions. You've got friends and you've got enemies. So here are some friends of peppers. Acorn squash, basil, blueberries, butternut squash, carrots, cilantro, cucumbers, eggplants, garlics, gingers, leeks, lemongrass, lettuce, marigolds, okra, onions, oregano, radishes, pumpkin, parsley. So y'all get the point. Then you can go over to the side and press, you have friends and you have enemies. What not to plant with hot peppers? That would be banana peppers, beans, bell peppers, blackberries, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, collards, fennel, kale. So kale was one in here you wouldn't want to put with your peppers. Kiwis, loofahs, sweet peppers, turnips, raspberries, potatoes, or eucalyptus. So that just goes to show you, you don't have to know everything. I still don't know everything, and I have been planning for a really long time. Colby has been planning for a really long time. We're utilizing available sources to help us continue to learn and do those wonderful things like planting and growing our own foods. And here's something else cool. So I just showed y'all an apartment kit that they have already put together. So y'all, they have already taken the hard work out for you. If you live in an apartment, live in a small area, you can't grow a lot in ground, y'all get the apartment kit. It is wonderful. All of these in containers, small areas, you can grow up vertically. There's different planters for that. Here's another collection. Again, it takes all of the hard work out for you. Say you live in a dry area. We are opposite, hot and humid. Say you live out Arizona way and it is really hot, but there's not a lot of water. You struggle with water. This kit right here that I'm about to show y'all is a drought tolerant kit. Beans, carrots, this variety of kale, rainbow mixed bell peppers, Swiss chards, tomatoes, watermelons, and different eggplants. So they have a drought tolerant mix already put together for you. A lot of the work, the first step has already been done. So I'm not gonna talk y'all's ear off anymore about the seeds. I'm super excited about come in, but I will tell you this, guys. Go check out Survival Garden Seeds website. All you guys need to do is, actually you can go to our link down in the description. Click on that link. It's going to take you to their website. It's going to show you these collections. The drought, the apartment kits, there's summer kits, there's fall collections. So even if you're like, I don't even know the first steps, you can learn so much just off of their website. And they are geared towards helping you learn. If they weren't, I can promise you they would not have seed saving instructions on the back of these packages, because that means you can keep your own seeds and don't have to depend on buying seeds over and over and over. These guys really want to teach people how to grow things and how to keep that going as a continuation to not be reliable on other people at all times. which in my opinion is where it's at. That's what you want.
Mommy, wow! Hey guys! Wow!
I don't want to get As you can see, we're enjoying summer here. Besides doing work, we have fun and play too. We try to bring you guys along, try to teach you things in between the fun vlogs that we do. We hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, morning, whatever it is, where you're at. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.